Hello, my name's Karen Sheldon. I'm letting you know about this video as I recently launched a fundraising campaign for SHIFT. What's SHIFT, you ask? Well, SHIFT is an abbreviation for Seen and Heard Individual and Family Therapy. Again, that's Seen and Heard Individual and Family Therapy. So I'm a certified mental health counselor. Right now I serve deaf and hard of hearing kids, starting from birth to 22. The story about how I arrived at that job goes way, way back, and I'd like to explain a little bit about that. People often ask, why did I learn sign language? Do I know deaf family or deaf friends? And not really, especially not at the beginning of the story. When I was about 10 or 11, my family was friends with another family. We went to the same church, and we were planning a camping trip together. I was excited. Their family was similar to ours in age, and they had a son who was also 10 or 11. That boy was deaf. And before our family went out on this camping trip, I was in bed one night, sleeping, and had a dream. In the dream, the boy drowned. He was struggling and signing wildly, and I watched on in horror, not understanding what he was trying to tell me, no idea what I needed to do, and it happened in the dream that he drowned. Not in real life, of course, just a dream. But still, I woke up feeling like I must learn sign language. I must. So did that camping trip happen? It didn't. My family's car got a flat tire, and the whole trip got canceled. But that dream really stuck with me. It really shaped the idea that learning sign language was going to be an important part of my life. So life moves on. I get through elementary school, middle school, high school. My mom and I moved to a new town, and I had the choice of between two high schools. The high school I chose offered ASL 1 as a foreign language. And I thought, whoa, what a perfect opportunity. I'm going to take advantage of that. So I joined ASL 1. I took ASL 2. I graduated high school and started college. I took ASL the whole way through for, 4.5 years. That I studied ASL as a minor and psychology as my major. The whole time, I found myself thinking, how can I connect these two things? Sign language and therapy. Sign language and therapy. How are these going to go together? And the idea started to take shape to do therapy direct with the client without the interpreter. So that idea stayed in the back of my mind. I graduated. I began working. And I enjoyed my job, but still the whole time I was thinking, how can I improve my sign language? Sure, I took ESL 5, but I'd really like to know it more in-depthly, have better skill. And I realized the next step was to join interpreting school. I decided on St. Paul College. I joined, and 2.5 years of study in ASL and the interpreting program, I realized how complex the work is. The brain is busy processing sign language, and I really enjoyed that work. And my interpreting school graduated. I started working as an interpreter, and really I learned so much, improving my own skill, and all the while thinking about, okay, therapy, that is my goal. Mental health is my goal. So as I started to become comfortable with interpreting and I felt confident in the community, and I realized it was time for graduate school. So I started graduate school with a focus on mental health therapy. I studied for 5 years from graduate school with an emphasis on deaf and hard of hearing and how hearing loss impacts that person's health and their development and their skills, social skills, and all the different ways that they're impacted. During graduate school, I learned about an agency, TSA, Therapeutic Services Agency, that had a specific program serving deaf and hard of hearing, and I knew that that was what I wanted to be a part of. So when it was time for internship, I applied and I was accepted. And I began to work for that company, and I'm now in a full-time position, and I'm really enjoying the work with deaf and hard of hearing kids and their families. But during the work, I've noticed so many barriers. Some of the barriers are, for example, language. Language is a barrier. Transportation. Other barriers like a private, quiet place to focus on therapy. In school, it's really limited. In their home, there's not any privacy. People are around, parents and siblings, and everyone is in the house. It's hard to focus and really emphasize their own wellness or prioritize their health. So there's so many barriers. Money is a barrier. Time is a barrier. Wild schedules are a barrier. Transportation is a barrier. Intermittent Wi-Fi is a barrier. So many barriers pop up. So now I had worked on my goal of doing therapy, and I'd met that goal. So now what was the new goal? And I realized the new goal was getting rid of some of these barriers. Many of the kids that I serve are outstate Minnesota, which means that I drive a lot in my personal vehicle, which is not a problem, but it's full of things I pack in there, games and toys, therapy interventions, paper, books, you name it, it's in there. And driving all over the state. But if I arrive at their school, there's not necessarily a place, or arrive at their home, there's no place. Plus, now we're dealing with COVID, and that has changed everything. Everything is changing. So, finally, I decided this is the time for my idea of Shift. The concept of Shift is a mobile office, like a shuttle bus, like Metro Mobility or Arrowhead Transit. That kind of vehicle that on the inside has been changed to look like and feel like an office. It's quiet, it's calm. Every time is the same, you know what to expect. So if I arrive at your home or your school, wherever I arrive and invite you into the office, the client knows what to expect, and the two of us in the Shift office can build a safe and predictable, stable, therapeutic environment. So the Shift concept is a vehicle, but in addition, there's 3 parts to the seen and heard individual and family therapy. Shift your mind, shift your body, shift your environment. Shift your mind is like traditional therapy, counseling, talk therapy, or with kids, more often play therapy. Exploring and figuring out how to understand what's happening inside, in their mind, in their body. The second, shift your body. That's really connected with trauma-focused yoga. I'm a certified yoga teacher with an emphasis on trauma. So using the concepts of breath work and mindfulness to really connect with what's happening, the experiences inside the physical body, feeling what's happening in your gut, noticing when your brain is really busy and when your body reacts to stress, being able to identify what you're feeling and connecting that with the body. Yoga itself really means yoking the mind and body, or unity. And the third concept is shift your environment. Your home, your life, your world, things that are maybe out of line. Maybe you don't have any routines. Maybe you feel like you're struggling to manage your money, or you'd like to meal plan and can't. Perhaps your closet is full of things that overwhelm you. Shift your environment is really like figuring out one area that you could improve just a little bit, shift a little bit to help bring some calm and control to your life. Anyways, I could go on and on forever with all of these concepts. I could talk forever about this passion, and I want to invite you to review the Shift campaign. And if you can, if you're willing, if you're called to donate, I would really appreciate it. And if you're not, I understand. But please share this information with your network so we can get it out there and really let people know about this opportunity. Thank you for watching. Thank you for following. I really appreciate your support. If you have any questions, please contact me. Thanks. Take care.